The hotel lobby buzzed with energy as Marines in dress blues filled the space for the Marine Corps' birthday ball. Amid the uniforms stood a woman in a royal blue top. Melissa Ward. She waited calmly in the active duty check-in line until a young captain finally looked up from his list. "Ma'am, the guest line is on the other side," he said, not bothering to meet her eyes. "This line is for active duty personnel." Melissa didn't move. "I believe I'm in the right place, Captain," she said evenly. He sighed, glancing at her as if she were lost. "If your husband's checking in, you can wait for him here." "My name is Melissa Ward," she replied, holding out her ID. "And I'm not waiting for my husband?" Captain Davis took the card impatiently, expecting a dependent's ID, but when he looked closer, confusion flickered across his face. It was a retired military ID, and it bore her name. "This is a retired ID," he said slowly. "You're not on the list. This event is for our battalion." "You might want to check your master list, Captain," she said calmly. He smiled thinly. "Ma'am, I don't know who you think you are, but I'm the officer in charge here. You're not on my list, so please step aside." His tone was firm, his posture full of self-importance. The young Marines nearby shifted awkwardly, sensing something was very wrong, but no one spoke. Davis pointed at the small gold and blue pin on Melissa's chest. "And what's that?" "Something from a souvenir shop?" Melissa's mind flashed back to a sand-covered operations tent in Al-Anbar province, the smell of diesel, the tension of command. That pin had been earned by her unit during a crisis that nearly cost hundreds of lives. It was a Joint Meritorious Unit Award, and the oak leaf cluster on it marked a second award. She had led the mission that made it possible. Back in the present, she said nothing. Her silence was more powerful than his words. Across the lobby, retired Sergeant Major Collier was watching. The name Melissa Ward struck him like lightning. General Ward? The oracle of logistics. The woman who had saved entire battalions with her planning? He pulled out his phone and texted the battalion's executive officer. "Sir, get to the main entrance now. Captain Davis is dressing down General Ward." Moments later, the ballroom doors burst open. Lieutenant Colonel Roberts, the battalion commander, marched in with the base chief of staff and Major Graham. Their faces were thunderous. They stopped in front of Melissa. Roberts snapped a perfect salute. "General Ward," he said, voice ringing through the room, on behalf of the command. "Please accept my deepest apologies for this inexcusable delay. It's an honor to have you with us." The other officers saluted too. The entire lobby froze. Captain Davis went pale, realizing what he had done. The woman he had mocked was Brigadier General Melissa Ward, the keynote speaker and a living legend in Marine Corps logistics. Roberts turned to him, his voice low and deadly. "Captain, were you aware that you were addressing the architect of Operation Desert Trident's logistics? The author of the manual you studied at the basic school?" Davis couldn't speak. The two lance corporals beside him looked ready to vanish. Roberts continued. "My office Monday. You'll bring a handwritten apology to General Ward and an essay on military courtesy. And you'll explain how you could wear this uniform and show such disrespect." Before he could say more, Melissa lifted a hand. "That's enough, Lieutenant Colonel." She turned to Davis. Her voice was calm, but her eyes carried the weight of command. "Captain, the uniform changes. We get older. But the standards don't. Your duty was to verify credentials, not to validate your biases. The heart of leadership is seeing people clearly. Be better." Her words hit him harder than any punishment. Weeks later, Davis sat in the base library, working quietly at a desk. He looked up and saw General Ward sitting nearby reading. He hesitated, then stood and approached. "General Ward," he said softly, "I wanted to apologize again, in person. What I did was wrong. I'm truly sorry." Melissa looked at him, then gestured for him to sit. "You made a mistake, Captain," she said gently. "You let assumptions cloud your duty. You'll pay for it, but don't waste the lesson." He nodded. "I'll remember that, ma'am." "No," she said. "You'll live it. Every Marine, every person you meet, treat them with respect. That's leadership." Davis stood, saluted quietly, and left with a heavy heart, but also a spark of understanding. Stories like General Ward's remind us that true strength isn't in rank or uniform. It's in dignity, discipline, and respect, the qualities that define real Marines.